So thank you very much for joining us on Untengle on the Bridge, 99 FM. Richie B, have yourself a wonderful day. Up and Go crew, you have yourself a wonderful day. Audley, that last tune that you play, oh my goodness, that one they're really sweet. Nice, loving that one. So of course, you know how we do it thing. We're going to beg you a copy and all these wonderful things. And you're going to forget, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so... this is how we start you off this morning. We were just telling our listeners a while ago that you are an entrepreneur, you have a pastry shop, but you also have a very interesting journey. So let us start with the journey, as I usually do. So you're a mother of two, and as I said, you're an owner of Soldae, that's how you pronounce it, right? Soldae's Pastry. And as it is with just about everybody that I know who experience success, there's always a backstory. It never just drop in our lap, so let's talk about your first child, Soldae. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes, it is.
And her diagnosis of spastic cerebral palsy. First of all, what is spastic cerebral palsy?
Spastic cerebral palsy is that you're not full of cerebral palsy and you are not full of any one category. So my daughter Soldae, she's spastic. She's stiff in some of her limbs, like her legs and her hands. Totally extended like yours and mine. And she sort of walk with a crouch, so to speak, and she was on her 2 points at one point. But surgery reversed that.
Okay. All right. So, I know it's not easy for any mother, and I'm sure even more traumatic for a first-time mother. For those who are going through the same experience, sometimes, they think they're alone. So it's good to just hear a little bit about what others have gone through, especially mothers, because we feel so deeply for our children. So let us talk about that feeling that came to you and how you got clearly to overcome some of the negative feelings that you had.
Initially, when Soldae was born, I was depressed. I wonder if I did something wrong, why me? This is my first child. I followed all medications, took the medications that was prescribed, did everything that was told to me, and then to find out your baby has challenges, will be challenged. Well, while she was growing, she was very small, so she developed a little slower than others, but you realize that she was still trying, because Soldae is a fighter to the end she will be. She has been through 3 surgery, cleft palate repair, and still fighting on. The only fear I have for Soldae is when Soldae gets sick, because Soldae is afraid of doctors.
Oh my
so when
goodness.
she goes there, it is a fight.
I'm sure this is because she has had to go to so many doctors from so early.
Right, because she keeps seeing so many doctors over her lifetime. So till now, she has passed the worst, I love to say, because she's not as sick as she used to be before, and our only concern right now for Soldae is if she should have a cold and she should go coughing up, because she doesn't cough and spit out as others would have done. So sometimes it gives her a problem, and she will fight.
All right, so you're talking about that now. So what would you say are some, because it's something that's ongoing, you still have to be overcoming it. What would you say are some of the strengths that you have had to call up in yourself to overcome all of the negative feelings, the depression, and all of that comes with those challenges?
You know, faith in God and my mother's support and her father's support, her father being there with us throughout all of it. You know, recently we went to Price Mart, and like just after the pandemic, after the COVID restrictions were lifted and people started going back out, and Soldae, when you go out with Soldae, most times Soldae will stay in the car. She allow you to go and come back and stay there. She doesn't mind. She sit and wait, not getting herself in any trouble or anything. And I went to a friend, and my friend said to her, "So we're not leaving you in the car today. You know, you're going in the store and you're going to walk around with all of us. If you don't want to walk, I'll get a cart and put you in the ones that they drive." And my friend fought with her and took her in the store. And as we reached in the store, a lady was talking to somebody beside us. "Oh, where am I go with that little handicap sitting there?" And I felt so bad about it, and I said, "Lord, you know why you changed me." Because I was about to say to her, she has a disability, but you seems to be the one with an handicap, because you seems to be the one not understanding. The same way you are expected to be here, she's expected to be here too. And I feel sometimes Soldae understands what people are saying about her. So I think possibly that's why she loves to stay in the car with those places. But she's taking her time. After that, we went back to Price Mart, and she came out of the car and she went in and we walked and shopped and she took pictures, and we were fine.
Yes. But you know what people need to understand, Shauna, that even though we may not be able to verbalize what we know, we feel things. And people, whether they can speak or not, they're feeling things. So we have to be so careful how we relate to each other.
We have to be mindful of others. And as Jamaicans, because when Soldae goes away, when she go by my sister, we can't leave her in the car at no point. And she walks around in the malls over there, and she enjoys herself. It's just that while she's here, I guess because of the stigma that's put on special needs here, it makes it hard for her to possibly reach her full potential going out, that is. Because when she's at school, she'll help. She does stuff with her. She sees something needs to be done, and she'll try to help to get it done and stuff like that. And when she's at home,
right? I was reading your story, and I really had to smile the way you speak about your partner and how he has been there for you, because this is not an easy rodeo. And even with the best of circumstances, sometimes it's difficult to have the father there. So let's talk about her father and what his being there for you has done.
A tower of strength for me and a mighty support, because while I was working within the organizations, if it was a problem for me to get the time off to take her to doctor, he would jump in, he'll take her to the doctor, he would drop her off at school when he was doing the drop off, he would drop her off at school, pick her up from school, and ensure that all is well. If I can't make a doctor appointment, he's there to make it. He's just always there, and he still is around for us.
Well, And I'm sure she feels that and recognizes that love.
Yes, man, she love her daddy.
I knew you were gonna say that, you know.
She still love her daddy, man.
All right. So you're still going through that and give thanks that you have a good dad beside you. That may I tell you, say that really make you believe, say the Most High no give you more than you can bear. You know.
Really, really.
So give
And
thanks for
with my
that.
mother's help and everything, because my mother's at home, so my mother would have been the one when she gets home from school, she stayed with and stuff like that.
All right. Let's
So
talk about, because I know you had another son, a son, and he
yeah.
must be thinking to himself, why? As Soldae get all of the attention. Them always talk about Soldae. So can we talk a little bit about your son?
Daquan came 18 years after Sully. When I thought I really didn't plan for Daquan. Daquan was not planned for, but he came about. But Daquan loves Soleil. He cares about Soleil, and Soleil cares about him in her own little way. Sometimes when he gets miserable, Soleil will just pull him because that is her way of expressing herself. So she pull him down on her, or she hold him up in her lap and make him know, say, all right, quiet now.
All right, nice. All right, so I tell you something, doing Shauna. Say we have invited you here to talk about your pastry business, But you see, when women start to talk and them start talk about the picnic, them, and so, but it's always nice. All right, so let us talk about the pastry business now. So your love for baking, how did that even develop?
My love for baking began in a night school.
Hold on, little
Uh,
Shauna. Hold on, little. So them just tell me, say me to take a break. So we're going to take a break. Sorry, sorry, Lafayette. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, you answer that question. All right? Thanks for joining us. So we are speaking with Shauna Samuda, and we're still live. You're still there, Shauna?
yes, I'm still here, Mama Elise.
Okay. So we're talking about the pastry now and how you started to love baking.
Yes, so I started in high school, and after that, I used to go by my sister on weekends. She and her husband was chefs, or they cooked. Well, he was a chef at the time, and she only assisted him with whatever. So when we're baking at Christmas times, I would always be there helping them, do the pans and get into the baking stuff. And then I started working at auto procurement back then, auto procurement services after that, after leaving high school. I started working at auto procurement services, and then I would bake and take to work with me and share with my coworkers on the weekends, on the Mondays or stuff like that. And then my boss said to me one day, Shauna, every Monday you come in here with some sweet. You know, why you doing this thing every week? I me not supposed to be eating the sugars because at the time he had diabetes. And I said to him, sir, let us experiment with the stuff them at home. And he said, okay. And then he said to me, he called me in the office one day and he said to me, Shauna, you seem to love this thing. You have a day release program. You need to go get registered for that. And I'll let you go. I'll give you the time off to go and do the course. So at the time, the course was called Baking Technology. So they offered it full time, as well as the part-time part of it was considered a day release. So I had to do one full day at school, and then I had 2 evenings that I would go in and do the theory part of the course.
Gave you that day.
No, one full day I would be at school because at the full day, you use the full day to do your bakings and your cooking, whatever breads or stuff that we were doing.
Okay.
So you use the full day for baking, and then the 2 half days for the theory part of the course.
Okay. Whoa. I was reading about this boss and I thought to myself, you have to give him a shout out. What's his name?
Mr. Neville Warner, but he's no longer around with us. He has died.
Well, his family can hear.
Yes. His son is around, Tariq Warner, and his daughter, Terry Ann Warner.
Wow, they need to know what a good man their dad was.
Yes.
So you went to and studied baking technology. You did the course, and
Right.
then did you stay on the job?
Yes, man, I stayed there. That's where Soldae was born. After,
Okay.
like, right when I'm finishing up that course, that 2 years course. It was a 2 years course because it was part-time. So right in that time, Soldae was born, and then I stayed with Mr. Warner until we closed down.
Okay.
And then I started working, like finalizing the books from his home, and we closed off on everything. And then when we finally closed everything, then I left.
So that's when Soldae's Pastries was born?
Well, Soldae's Pastry was born out of Soleil and Daquan.
Oh.
So it's a combination of the two.
Oh, I knew there was some name thing there somewhere, though, the salting. Okay. So Soldae is a mix of your two children.
Right.
All right. So let me ask you this now. So when you started baking first, what were the things that you would say you started really baking, and how have you moved past there or brought that with you and where you reach now?
Well, I started out doing like pineapple upside down cakes, rock buns, fruit cakes has always been in the mix, because every Christmas I would bake for the workplace. Everybody get them own cake, and because our boss then, he would say to us, Shauna, I'll provide you with the ingredients because you think it's cheap to get up a bake, and you just carry something them, come here, come give the people I fatten them. Right? He would buy me the ingredients because he know whether or not Shauna is going to bake something to carry to work. So I baked a cake for everybody for Christmas, and then we move on from there. And then I do cheesecakes, I do bread puddings, I make almost anything. I just need a recipe, and
But
then
let me
I
ask you
always
this though,
tweak it.
because you see, all right, I have to go back to what your boss said. You just bring them whole heap of sweet something inside of the office and all these things. Have you become conscious as someone who bakes? Have your clients made you conscious that you need to either go very low on the sweets or create a pastry that someone who can't have too many sweets can have?
Yes, you can still have it, but it's not as. I try to reduce my sugar content, or try to get it at a balance that it won't be too sweet for somebody if they're not comfortable with the sweet, but it will still be tasty.
Right. I got that. All right. So Christmas time seems to be a time that the bakers really is a cash pot. I mean, really, and there's no other way to put it. Do you have a store that you have throughout the year, or is it really a Christmas store?
It's not per se a Christmas store, and I don't have it throughout the year. I don't have a physical store. I like to do what I call catering. So
Okay.
you order something and I'll bake it and take it to you. I used to bake my cakes and my fruit cakes like and have them given out to people to trust and say they will pay, and then they stop paying, and then you know them don't eat it already. So what am I gonna do? You can't kill them.
But you
Then
know
you pay
something,
me.
I hear you. I hear you, because you're the kind of person who used to bake and give away and everybody tell you how it's nice because they get it for free. So,
Mhm.
so I guess
So
you
when them
learned a lesson
see,
when you actually started now to want to make a business out of it.
right, and then they start trust it now, and then pay your feet, and then they eat it already. So you can't do nothing. So.
So catering is a better business plan.
Right. It's better
Yeah.
for you to call and say, can you bake me a fruit cake? And, I tell you how much it will cost, and you
Right.
say, go ahead.
All right. A lot of people listening now perhaps want to have a fruit cake and them not baking this Christmas. How can they contact you?
I can be contacted at 599, no, 598 1207 or 756 3365.
Okay. And are you on social media?
Not right now.
Okay, so it's just by phone for now.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so very much, and I certainly hope you're getting the kind of support that you need. Are you in
A
terms of
little.
customers?
A little. But with God's help, it will grow.
Look, don't stop, man, and keep promoting it and go on social media because I have found that is social media everybody depend. So you might have to just find a way to just get your business
I'm
advertised.
working on
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
working
man.
on it.
I'm sure that is going to make a big difference because it's one thing to you have people who can't bake it but they can sell it. Can sell them something good, and then good up get more. Yeah, that's just a fact. So go on social media, find out all the ways of advertising, and if the product is good, I know it will do well. Thanks for talking to
Okay?
us. It is such an interesting journey, and I just want to commend you for getting out of the negative spirit because trust me, it is so easy to happen. And coming up to a point where you can have your own business, you can talk with a different kind of, experience about your children, and you've conquered. And we love to hear a story like that.
Okay. Bye-bye, Elise. Thank you for having me.
Most welcome. Shauna Samuda, a mother of two, an entrepreneur. You heard her story, you heard her journey. First child was diagnosed with spastic cerebral palsy. All of the emotions and as is to be expected and all that comes with that. So, owning her own business. And, we just want to say enough respect. Thanks for sharing that journey with us. And I know there are people out there who can relate because they've gotten in touch with us already. So it's always good to just share the journey and all these wonderful things. Once again, thank you very much, Shauna Samuda, for speaking with us, and we have retained her numbers. So I know the last one is 7563365, and I'm going to ask our producer to remind me of the first number, and we're going to be insisting, Shauna, that you go on social media because we know say that he's going to make a big difference. Hi, Rojjah.
Hello, Sister Elise. How you doing?
I am very
Can you
well,
hear me?
thanks. Yeah, I can hear you. Your background kind of nice, like for me too. Turn on.
I'm at hotel. I'm at Hilton.
Oh, okay. So there's not you can do about that, right? All right, cool. So let us talk first of all about Rojjah. Who is
Yeah.
Rojjah? A little bit about who you are.
Well, Rojjah has been an entertainer for a few times now, like for a while. You know that, and I've been trying to get off the ground. It's a lot of work. I've been in a group called United Force, and that was a great group. Architects was the the owner at that time, and that group break up, and so I had to find my own. You know, it's almost like when you're a soldier and you have that protective shield around you. When you become now, you have become a sniper, where you alone have to handle the job. So that's where it becomes in my world. And started record with Steely and Cleve, so many great producers, and been trying to get off the ground. And now it seems like it's about time for that to happen. You know, it's a musical journey, and you just have to pay your dues.
Interesting journey, because for those who are really into what they're doing, they really just have to stick it out, because music offers us nothing really but just to love, if you just love music. So you first of all were an instrumentalist. You used to play the trombone. Let us talk about playing the trombone and how you started to play the trombone, and then how you became a vocalist.
Okay. Now, from I'm a kid, you know, I've been finding myself very fascinated with music. And so I couldn't wait for my mom to leave her, because she has been in the Christian world. And so she only listened to certain kind of music.
Right.
So I grew up with that formation. But as soon as she could leave, I used to blast that stereo. I mean, all day. And so the neighbor used to tell her when she comes in, that, you know, I've been making a lot of noise and whatever, and she used to be like angry about it, and she said, music is going to take me nowhere and stuff, and she wanted me to get into accounts and stuff, and I decided to myself, say, you know what, she's not paying attention to me, and what I like, she not even want to listen to me. And so going to school that day, they had a music class there, and so I forget about accounts. I just walk away from that class and just went to the music room. And when I went there, I asked the teacher that if I could join. I said yes, and he said, but there's no other instrument here left for you to play, because I want to play like drum and bass or something. And the only thing left was the trombone, and I said, I don't care, I just want to be in the music. And I took it up, and it was very interesting, and you know, I enjoyed that moment, and that's how it really starts.
That's a very interesting story. You wanted to do music that badly that you just took up that. Most kids would probably just, as you say, wanted to pick up a guitar or do the keyboards. But you wanted music so badly that you took up the trombone and loved it.
I wanted to be a part of it so bad.
Yes.
That's so.
Wow, that's so good. So how long you played the trombone for?
Well, it's about 2 years, you know, in music class, and then I left to a college called Nakava. It was all about agriculture again, because their teacher saw me great potential, and they hooked me up on that, and I went to there. And while I'm there, I'm just singing. And mostly right now I'm into a group, and they said, well, they can't forget how you should just sing. Every class trip and stuff, I'm singing. I really didn't know why I'm doing it, but it was just a part of me.
Yeah.
And the time I got expelled from second year because I was a bit really bad. And so right from there, I saw a friend of mine. We used to do music together, called Walde. He's a drummer right now. And I said to him, I really want to get in the music business. How can you help me? And then he pointed me to someone. And, you know, I went there, I didn't know any song. I only know one, Frankie Paul. Like kissing you in the night, under the moonlight. I know nothing. I grew up in a Christian home. And so, the owner at the time said, Richard, oh, but I want to say real bad. And say, I said, I'm willing to learn.
Yeah.
I'm willing to learn. Just give me the chance.
Right.
That's it. And from there, in no time, boom, less than 2 years, I'm in Japan on tour. I'm saying, what? It's like, it's a fire burning in me until today. There's nothing that leads me to do except music. I will do many other things, but music is just my spirit, my soul. It's just a joy. It is what keeps me.
No, I see you a lot on the North Coast, right? That's where I always used to see you.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, without even knowing who you were, this is like decades ago. Without even knowing who you were, the first thing that comes to your mind is this brethren has to be an entertainer or in showbiz or something, because that's the energy you exude without even trying.
Thank you. I think so. A lot of people just come up to me in that formation as well, and say the same thing. It's just that I'm different. It's something that it's hard to explain, but it's just. I think when I'm pretty artistic inclined, and anything to do with art. It is me, and so people used to criticize me a lot because I was just unusual. But I never make it bother me. It's just a strength to keep moving,
Actually, that's that to me was what made you stand out. Because people who are creative themselves will just realize that this is just a creative spirit right here. Without joke about that. All right. So you obviously did well because you have the spirit of an entertainer, and you came upon the United Force Band. Let us talk about the United Force Band and how you came to be a part of that band.
Okay, that's an interesting journey. Okay, so while trying to get in the music business, I used to go around because I love to watch. I never want to be like anyone. I just want to understand myself, basically. So it's as if I used to hang around and watch artists, many artists, Karen Simmet, who's passed up, Dennis Malcolm, Nicky OJ, Stanrick, so many artists. I used to go around and just observe and try to understand how to become a part of this. And so by the time I started learning a few songs, they started putting me on stage. And there was just something about me that's just so unique that when I get on stage, it's just like, I was just in that mood. And they're saying, this guy is going far. And so in no time, I started to get a lot of pressure on doing so many things. And because the belief that they have in me is like, they expect me to be able to do it. And so that also helps my confidence. And try to not let myself down or anyone. And so I grasped onto that. And, the group, based on my artistic behaviors and stuff, the group started to create around me, basically. Because you have to have somebody leading to be able to formate that. And so when Mr. Richards created the group United Force, we used to have rehearse every day from 11 to 6, like for years. Every day we used to have music class, we used to have people come and teach us music, we used to write songs, we used to rehearse. It's just all day. You have a family, but you don't have a family. It's like a boot camp. And so, that create is come across more and come together, and that's how the show band. We went to Kingston and get against Bear Central and all of these people. And everything.
Okay.
And, for these people, and we came to the show band at that time. Lot of work.
Okay, look here, Rojjah, there is something that we want to clarify for those who may not understand the difference, and we're going to take a commercial break, and then when we come forward, we're going to talk about backing band as opposed to a show band, because the United Force was a show band, and most of the jobs that you would have gotten would have been for people who are perhaps visitors to the island, right? And it's a little different from a backing band. So when we come forward, I'm going to ask you to help us to understand the difference in musically and the personality of the difference. You understand what I'm saying? The kind of personality that you would have for one as opposed to the other. All right. So we soon go.
That's it.
All right. So we have live on Zoom Rojjah Mendez, and he has been in the business for quite a while, and he has been spending a lot of time in a show band, United Force show band. So we asked the question before we took the break for him to help us to create a picture in our minds when we think of a show band. Let's do that first.
Well, a show band is almost like you'd have Earth, Wind and Fire. It's a complete band present instead of a singer per se to a band that back him. So everybody has to work together. It's like our Morgan heritage is. It's just that what happened to us, we had certain different style into it, and we had performance to that. So instead of just singing and delivering, you actually perform, just and so everybody in sync in performance, and that's what made us different.
Right. For those of us who have been around musicians, you can almost, you're hearing me? Hello?
Yes.
Right.
I can hear you.
You can almost tell. All right. You can almost tell the difference between a show band or someone who has worked in a show band as opposed to another band. And I think you hit the nail on the head a while ago when you said you are performers. And that to me is what really creates the difference.
Yes. We always want to be different. Especially me, I always want to be different, and so I always think out of the box. I have learned all the time, less is always more. And we got a lot of opportunities. I remember Motown came for us 3 times. It's just that the management system had a different formation, and the outcome wasn't the way it should be, but it's all a learning process.
Okay, so you spent 8 years there, and then what?
And so seems like everybody kind of get frustrated, A group is always, you have to become one. Everybody have different process in their mind what they want and stuff. And so people kind of like fall off because the growth wasn't what we expect are most people. So they jump to different venues, and so it started to crumble, and left me standing, because normally they say the singer is the one who always leave the band because they whatever. But I was the last person standing, because loyalty is always in my book, and loyalty is also what slowed down my process of achieving.
All right, you broke up a while ago. You want to repeat what you just said?
A lot. Believe is something. Whatever section, I'm not sure, but let me get back to it. I'm saying people started to crumble. Like they have different venues and channels they want, because they see themselves want to achieve certain things. And so they didn't have the endurance. Endurance is always very important, because sometimes when you see the dark cloud, that's when you have the light beyond. And
something.
Loyalty is a thing that I carry.
Yes.
Loyalty is very important to me, and normally they thought singers are the ones who's, because everybody is looking at them, is the ones that gonna be the one that leave the group, and so I promised myself, if I won't be the one that's gonna do that, be standing. And I'm saying loyalty is really what caused me to have less achievement. But I still do believe in loyalty. I feel like it's very great to be loyal. And so I stand by that, even though there are other channels and other... There's so many people, Byron, there's so many people come to me to move forward, and I stand by something I don't know what they're achieving at the moment, but I had great hope.
But let me ask you this though, Rojjah. Let me ask you this. What have you learned? Because, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over, because you're going to get the same results. So based on what you've been through, what have you learned about your career? Because the reality is that no matter how loyal a group is, just by nature, unfortunately or fortunately, it's neither, just by nature, people are going to go where the grass is greener. So
exactly so.
Yes. What have you learned?
Well, I still believe in loyalty. The thing is that I'm channeling myself. I'm trying to take control of myself, basically. So I'm also in a group called Obesa, but I'm also Rojjah. I have my own journey that I'm treading, and so these process was learning process from me, but to able to talk to you today. Look at that.
Yes. I love what you said a while ago. I love what you said a while ago, and that to me is a wonderful thing, and that proactive, because you always have to remain Rojjah no matter where you go.
Yes, and so all these great people that believed in me, and so many powerful people. But to be honest with you, in the music business, and not that I can't, but for some reason it doesn't materialize in that formation. But it's a learning process. It's something that when you grasp on it, then when you pull away from that, we shall be great for a long period of time. You know, greatness doesn't come that easy. You know, it is something. I have a purpose. I have a purpose on earth.
I love that.
It's not about the money for me. I could be on the ship working. I have so much opportunities, but for me personally, the purpose of being alive when I die is also important to me.
Let me ask you this though. We're talking about bands. We're talking about your solo career. So now you're both. All right. So I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about the festival song JCDC competition, because you even did that too. And I guess that is kind of like the freedom that you want to have to be able to do what you want to do. And yes, so that happened too. So all right. So there's a new single out now. But it's before we even talk about the single, you're working with another band again. Let's talk about that.
Yes. And so now, we all know that Toots, are you with me? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, so I grew up on respecting Toots and as a great artist. And so when he died, I was a bit depressed because I thought he was an excellent artist, but a lot of people not paying attention to in Jamaica. But he's so internationally known and is a great product of Jamaica. And so I always admire him. When he died, I got a call from Jackie Jackson, who is a member of the Maytals band. And so he wanted to meet with me. I had no idea what it was all about. And so he wanted to meet with me. And so I decided, oh, not a problem. I met with him. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. And so I met with him. Before I met with him, his wife pulled up on me, that's in Discovery Bay. The judge center and said to me, the Jackie's a little bit late, but he's coming. And I'm the one who advocates for something for you. And so, you know, I was still not sure what it is. Till Jackie pulled up and then he explained to me, and they wanted me to be a part of the band, which was the Maytals at the time. Can you hear me?
He wanted you to be a part of the band, the Maytals.
That's right. And so when I joined the band first, I was the Maytals. Until somewhere down the line, they had some difficulties with some court issues. And so they decided on taking the journey a different way. And so they changed the name to Obesa.
Oh.
So that's how it really
Oh, so it's the same band that was called the Maytals is now called Obesa.
Yes, just like Paul to tell you hi. Bungie,
I am just getting it now. I just get it. All right, fine. So let's talk about the single now.
Yes. And so Jackie sent a song to me and said, Rojjah, I want you to learn this song and just make sure you do it in your formation when you're ready to record it. And he said, I'll give you 2 days. I said, no, Jackie. You can't give me 2 days. I have to become a part of the song to be able to deliver the song. So give me about a week to learn the song and to become a part of it as if it's my song to deliver it. And so, you know, he said, okay, no problem, man. Went to the studio and about 2 takes, bam, and that was his history.
All right, so we have it queued up. We have it queued up, and we're going to play the song now that our listeners can hear this new song. So this is actually an interpretation of Freedom Street. Your interpretation of Freedom Street, and it's done by Rojjah and the band Obesa. So, you know, the first thing I thought, before I even listened to the song, right? The first thing I thought is that wow, I mean, this is a song made popular by a serious musician, Mr. Ken Boothe, you know. And him is not a man easy, you know, trail to follow. So I thought to myself that, boy, Rojjah, brave. Then I heard the song. And can I tell you the first thing that came to me? Although it is still Freedom Train, is the same song, but that extra time that you asked for was well spent because you made it your own.
Thank you so much. And Ken Boothe was honored. He felt very honored. He liked to say, wow, tell him he did a great job.
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with him.
Yes,
you did a very good job. And I'm happy to know that Ken Boothe really has approved it because, as I say, it's not easy to do a song with Ken Boothe doing it because when him do a song, it do, you know.
Yes, it's do for life.
So very good. So let us talk. We have a few minutes. Let us talk about the band of Bessa. Who are some of the musicians in the band?
Well, you know, you have Jackie Jackson. You have Paul. Well, we know a keyboard by the name of Bungie. And it's Charles. You have Ishka. You have Gershie. Everybody I don't know fully because I've not really officially met with them as yet because most of them is in the States. And so, you know, we don't come together and start rehearsing. We're just working and doing everything via mail and via internet, and we have that connection. So there's a clipping I sent to you with all of these, most of these information and stuff like that, that came out in the paper and stuff. So, but it's quite a few people, you know. Jackie is the original, and Paul is the drummer. You met these guys, like Charles, with Bungie, Ishka, you know. Ishka is a new member, just like myself and Gershie. We are new members, but it's basically the metal band that has been around. The guitarist is from Canada now. His name is not popping up to me at the moment.
Don't bust your brain.
It's somebody that I know.
Right.
Right. So that's what we're doing because the COVID has stopped a lot of stuff and a lot of connection. So we were doing all of this through COVID and stuff. And so we never get to come together in that formation.
A lot of this has probably become the new norm to be working like this as musicians.
Yes, we connect just via mail and get it done. And you know, even last night, Bungie, you know, they feel real honored for me to be a part of. They can't wait to go on tour. They just feel like it's going to be great. Actually, they know it's going to be great.
Yes.
I can't wait. I am very excited in this music business. I have so much to offer. I've grasped a lot, and so I can be able to teach in time to come. It's not necessary.
You know, let me tell you something. My opinion, Mr. Rojjah, especially being around this industry for so many decades.
Yes.
There is not one way that people want to see people express themselves. As many personalities as there are out there, is as many ways as people are prepared to accept people for who they are. And I think we have been trying to fit ourselves into a box, and the box can't hold no more right now. Yeah.
Exactly so. Can't hold no more. I think you have to find a new box.
Yes, you have to find your own box now.
Yes.
Where you're just going to be yourself now and have confidence for no say. People are going to just love you for who you really are.
Yes, and just always be able to deliver. You know, just deliver. You know, I become the delivery man now.
No, I know you love what you're delivering, and I know you're passionate about it. You said that you love the trombone, but you said that you're more passionate about the music and about singing, and we hear it. I mean, I have not heard you sing for quite a while. There was a track that I used to play a lot, but I haven't heard that for a while, and I'm looking forward to playing your interpretation of Freedom Train.
And I got something for you. I just didn't want to say it, but I have another song that is playing on IRFM and a few stations called If You Could See Me Now.
Okay.
And believe me, when you get that one, it's just because you have to take it. That's with Rojjah by himself, different from Obesa. So I told you we were working, and there's 2 songs playing on the radio very hard now, which is Freedom Street and If You Could See Me Now. Now I produce If You Could See Me Now, while Obesa have to deal with Freedom Street. I kind of like the idea of Obesa because sometimes I don't really want someone to know who I am. I want them to listen and take it for what it is and love it. Then they say, who is that person?
Right.
I can do that.
I know, I can do. I love that too. Rojjah, it's really nice talking to you. And one of the things that I really enjoy talking to you about is just how you've always just been Rojjah. And you are a creative energy. You're comfortable in your own skin. You know, so you can make a serious contribution. Continue to just be Rojjah. And although you've been inspired by so many other artists, I still see Rojjah. And that's a wonderful thing.
That's right, and I really admire you as you don't know how great, but you know, but probably you don't know, because sometimes when you're humble, you still want to grow and you don't see something, so you don't know how great a person you are. I'm so happy that you're back on the air. You are needed, and you needed the time as well, but now it's a new venture for you, a new world for you, and I'm so happy to be on with you. I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and hope we can talk some more about, because there's so much things to talk about. I don't even start the journey yet.
But can I tell you something? Thank you very much, first of all, for what you had to say. And I understand that you have so many songs that you could have done 3 albums. So we do have a lot to talk about, you know. But go and do your work. Go and do your work and go and shine your light. See?
After all, I'm big up the bridge because you know it's a wonderful thing. You know, I'm just happy that you're back on here, just to hear. You're just one of those powerful ladies.
Rojjah, thank you so very much. Very nice having you. Thank you very much to accepting our invitation. And this was a lovely conversation. Continue to
I'm honored.
shine your light. Shine your light,
Thank you so much,
shine your light.
Freedom Street.
Look here,
your brothers, sisters, and all.
So we're going to close out with that song. We're going to close out with that song. We're going to close out with that song. But you see, before we actually start to play the song, just give them a little a cappella, and then in a studio now, you will just know, say, after I'm giving 2 lines, we just run the real song.
Yeah, man. Let's not argue. Let's not fight. I can't see too much people around. Let's get together. We all can unite. Then take off these chains from off my feet. Cause we gonna walk. Walk down Freedom Street. Everybody knows we gonna walk. Walk down Freedom Street. You know what? United we stand, divided we fall. Respect your brothers, sisters, and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Work it out intelligently. Low, we gonna walk. Yeah, Jamaica, big up yourself and the world.
Okay, this is how we say so long. So, want to say enough respect to the entire team. Bless up yourself, Rojjah. Thank you very much. Bless up yourself. Bless up all those around you. Want to say enough respect to the Untengle team. Bless up yourself. Thank you very much, Shauna Samuda, for our conversation. And this last conversation with Rojjah was so sweet. So we're leaving with this brand new interpretation of Freedom Train. Bless up yourself. One big heart of love.